How's it going, guys? In today's very quick, very short video, I just wanted to show off an interaction that I found using the new super Song of Flame. If you want to have a look at the new super, Song of Flame has two unique effects. For a start, it releases a supercharged melee that launches additional projectiles, and this does change depending on which melee you have equipped, either Celestial Fire or the Incinerator Snap. Also, your grenade is now changed to be a sentient wisp that seeks out targets and detonates, dealing quite a lot of scorch damage. Then, after that explosion, it'll then seek out to other nearby targets. Also, while Song of Flame is active, yourself and nearby allies will gain increased ability regen, and you're more resistant to incoming damage, and your solar and kinetic weapons do increased scorch damage. This bit is very, very important, and I will explain very shortly. To try and maximize this, I've gone with Phoenix Dive, Incinerator Snap, Fusion Grenades, the Hellion aspect, the Touch of Flame aspect, and the fragments Singeing, Benevolence, Torches, and Ashes. In my testing, a standard fusion grenade with these aspects and fragments dealt 85,114 damage. Conversely, with Verity's Brow at max stacks, this did a total of 170,227. The base grenade with the Song of Flame ultimate activated did a total of 69,213 damage. However, this only happened when an ignition procced, otherwise the damage was 33,003. And with Verity's Brow active, this damage then went up to 66,007 if there was no ignition, and 138,427 if there is an ignition. The issue with this is being able to juggle both Verity's Brow stacks and trying to keep the buff going, only for a weaker grenade overall. But what about ability regen? Song of Flame also has an ability regen aspect to it, as does Verity's Brow. With Feel the Flame active, Verity's Brow provides a 10x grenade recharge rate to your allies. With some testing with a friend, this resulted in about, give or take, 10 seconds of recharge on their grenade. Keep in mind, they were using a Duskfield grenade at tier 7 discipline. If you're curious, a tier 7 Duskfield grenade has a cooldown of 1 minute and 5 seconds. So an estimated 10-second recharge isn't too bad. However, with Song of Flame activated, it was about the same time, give or take. Unfortunately, we weren't able to properly record this. However, going off just our own information, it was about the same, if by a tiny amount. I also tried to test if Ember of Benevolence or the effect from Verity's stacked with Song of Flame. Unfortunately, in my testing, neither one of these stacked with Song of Flame or Verity's Brow. It appears that Verity's Brow and Song of Flame override these other buffs. So, if Song of Flame does about the same as Verity's Brow, and they don't stack, and the damage on Verity's is worse than if you just threw a normal fusion grenade, what's the point here? Well, I think Song of Flame is an alternative to Verity's Brow. While Verity's requires you to keep killing adds in order to keep the buff going and keep your teammates buffed, with Song of Flame, you can just activate it and go. Realistically, if you wanted the buff to last even longer, you could just not throw anything and have the super last a lot longer. Furthermore, I think that the damage here isn't really that bad, especially when you really go into it with a Scorch setup, like for example the one I'm showing on screen now. Now, as you can see, this does show a lot of potential. There's a fair bit of damage here. We also need to keep in mind that this super, as you can see here, also allows your solar and kinetic weapons to do scorch damage. Thinking about this, we then need to figure out how we're going to make this good damage. This is where my build comes in. For solo play, I would say you have two options, give or take. you can go down the route of what I've got here, which is Mountaintop with autoloading Vorpal, which will be doing scorch damage because of Song of Flame. Another option is, if you want to go for some different damage, you could opt for something like an Apex Predator with Reconstruction Bait and Switch, or Demo Bait and Switch, and then instead of Mountaintop, you could use Witherhoard. Witherhoard's tick damage also applies Scorch, so the damage there could also be very, very high. If you were to pair this with an Ember of Benevolence Starfire Protocol Warlock, the damage here would be insanely high. Starfire Protocol states that fusion grenades have an additional charge and recharge faster from empowered weapon damage. Furthermore, defeating targets with fusion grenades grant Rift energy. Pair this with Ember of Benevolence and the recharge you gain from Song of Flame, and you will be spamming grenades for days. Keep in mind that these grenades do a lot of damage. Put that in with your standard rocket hot swapping setup, and the damage here is going to be incredibly powerful. Now, I do have to say that I've not yet fully tested this. However, from the little testing I have done, this does seem like a potential option for multi-warlock teams in a raid scenario. Have one or maybe two warlocks using Song of Flame and everyone else on Starfire Protocol, and you might, just might, be on the same level of grenade spam as OG Starfire, something that we've not seen in a very, very long time. If you're interested in my Starfire Protocol build, or the build with Song of Flame Warlock, I'll put a dim link in the description down below for you if you are interested. I need to go do some more testing on this, and I will update you all if needed, but until that time comes, I'm off to play more Destiny. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to check the link tree down in the description below to join our community Discord, where I'll be keeping you guys all updated on everything I'm doing and everything I'm up to. And with that all being said, thank you all so much for watching, and I shall see you all Starside.